Well, now on this video, I'm gonna share with you 5 tips on how to escape the cycle of poverty. Oh, by the way, you're watching this video and perhaps you remember where you come from. You realize that, wow, my great-grandfather wasn't rich because I used to be told my grandfather or my grandmother. Then my grandmother and my grandfather, they never used to be rich. They were just somewhere struggling finances. Well, of course, my grandmother and my grandfather gave birth to my mother and my father. There they are. They have known nothing. And from both ends, from the maternal side and the paternal side, now my parents weren't in a good position to bring us in a very better way. So there's some things that I never enjoyed. Now here I am. I'm likely to go through the same process, or I'm already going through the same process. Now, how exactly do I discontinue these and move it to the next level? I'm going to share these 5 points in 2 phases. The phase number 1, I'm going to share what we call the human actionable steps. The steps that you are supposed to take as a human being. And the next phase, I'm going to share with you some of the things that you do not have a control of them, but there's something that you can do. This is Good Joseph as always. I try the best as I can, not because that I have the manual for life, but I come here to share with you some of the tips. First of all, I personally, as you see in front of you, I was never born in a family where we had money. No, I was born in utter poverty. Not the poverty that you think, the utter one, the utter poverty. But I tried the best, and you can see here I am breathing. And I will tell you something about myself at the end of the videos. Now, go ahead and like the video. Make sure that you subscribe if you have never subscribed. If you're watching me for the first time, I upload such kind of videos each and every day. So let's get on the business now. Okay, now, wow, here we are. I'm going to share with you 5 points. How do you exactly get yourself out of this poverty cycle? The first thing that you need to do, just zoom in to your family members, the extended family from the maternal side and the paternal side. Find out what they do. That's the point number 1. Let me put this in my pocket. Point number 1. Find out what they do. What they do. Who are these people? I mean, the both family members, that is from the maternal side or from the paternal side. Find out what they do. Then, if possible, do opposite. Do opposite. You realize that in your family members, they have a problem with education. They never go to school. They never go beyond, say, university. They never, not even university rather, but never go beyond high school. Some don't even go beyond primary school and something like. Just find out. Every family lies a weakness. There's some families that if you go, they realize that those guys have a problem with alcohol. You find like your grandmother was drinking, is still drinking up to date if she's alive. You find that your father got into the thing. You find that your father actually got it to your mother. So everyone is drinking to your home. Your elder brother, or maybe let's say you're not there, maybe let's say you are the eldest brother. The rest of your family members are drinking, or you're already into the drinking yourself. Find out that family weakness that cuts across your family members. Some of you, let me tell you one secret, guys. Some of the family members are witches. You realize that some of your family members are witches. You realize some of your members they have jealousy. Nobody can actually try to rise. The moment you try to rise, you are taken down. Just find out what they do. Find out that particular weakness. Okay? So once you find out what is the weakness, because see, if you don't understand what is the weakness running in your family, you'll never run away from it. Are we together? So once you find it out what it is, then you'll avoid it as a plague. Are we together? Now, you understanding what they do or what they did. Because let's say your family members was doing 1, 2, 3. They never got any result. Now you are going ahead and doing 1, 2, 3, expecting a different result. I think that is arrogant. Doing the same thing, expecting a different result. These guys have been there for the last 100 years. This thing, they have tried it the best they can. They have never gotten any result. Who told you that if you go ahead and do that, for example, I had a couple where we said both of them, they come from a family where they are all teachers, and they realized, sure, their parents were teachers, and apparently their grandfathers, they were teachers, but they weren't in a position where these guys would love to be. They would love to go beyond that what has been ever achieved by their family members. I told them, you all know, all the teachers, you guys, your parents are teachers, there's somewhere they didn't cross. You guys, you're already teachers. By default, I don't know, they were teachers. And they were like, you know what? Teaching runs across our family. I told them, you can take your teaching to the higher level. But if you keep on doing the way your family members are doing, you never get any results. So the point is, please don't lose this point. Find out what they do, then do the opposite. That is it. Just do the opposite. They drink a lot, just don't. They marry very early, just don't. Because they have some family members who marry very early. Actually, they marry even before the time reaches. So you get what I'm saying? Number two, once you do this, now we are talking about the human actionable steps, what you're supposed to do as a human step. Number two, this is what we call change the environment. Change the environment. Listen, the vibrations are already telling you things are not going good where you come from, that town that you are in, that village that you are in. Okay, because when you hang around with where you come from, you'll hang around with allow me just to say this, and forgive me, you hang around with other people who are facing the similar problems as you. Allow me to say they are poor or broke. You hang around with people who are poor. That is more of a mindset. They tell you money does not, money is scarce, it's not there, it's not available. I mean, if you look at our village, do you see anybody who has ever become wealthy and such kind of a thing? The moment you surround yourself with people who are on the same bar as you or probably lower as you tend to think like, you know what, I think this is the norm. I think this is the thing that should be there. I think there's no need of actually even trying and doing anything. Have you ever tried to go back to your country and try to do things differently? There was a time I tried to go back to the country and I tried to do farming in a different way. Everyone was laughing at me. They were telling me, you know what, that piece of land has been, we usually farm this kind of a thing for the last 80 years. So who is you, a kid who was just born some few days ago? You are there telling us that. You see, you find there is a certain mentality that has clogged those people in that kind of an environment. So if you hang around in that environment, it can actually intoxicate you to a point that you cannot stretch yourself to the next level. Now, that is what we say, change the environment. It is hard. By the way, change is a challenge. Try to change the environment. What does it mean? Either physical, listen, changing the environment, most of you might think it's about moving out of the place physically. Sure, that is one of it. We have two ways here you can change the environment. A, it can either be physically, B, or two, it can actually be what? Mentally. Do you know you can actually be located, say, in a slums, in a village, in something, but you don't think like them? And if you can manage to do this, this is one of the most effective and the best way. But if you know you cannot trust your mentality because you're going to be affected by the environment, then change the place physically. When I change it means physically, you get out of you relocate, go to a different place, meet different people. But don't move from village A to village B who are facing the similar problems in a different way because you've not changed the environment. No, change the environment, go to a place where people are challenging you. Back then where I was brought up, I used to think like everyone is poor. But it's true. I used to think like our country looks like that throughout the place. Like everyone, they're even sleeping on the floor. Sometimes they can go without food. I used to think like it's like the norm. Such that even if when I would go to the primary school and I tell guys we didn't eat yesterday, and they told me also we didn't eat yesterday. So a lot like, you know what? I mean, so if you ate, let's say 3 times a day, it was a flex. So I thought like everyone is going the same until I changed the environment. I was like, wait a minute. People have even cars. People have big houses. People are actually shopping. The first time I went to university, I saw people just picking things. I used to be like, you know what? People are just being allowed to pick things just like that. See, when you change the environment, you get intimidated a lot. But just change the environment, then you can see the beauty of the other side. And you know what is number three? Number three, this is now a very, very effective point. This is now when you say detox. Detox your mindset. Just detox your mindset. I know this listen, just detox your mindset. You see, they usually detox ourselves, maybe say we are suffering from something. Just detox your mindset, meaning just get rid of that what you know. And this is the hardest thing that people can ever do. Just, you know what, just unlearn. To unlearn is to just get away or do away with that what you had learned before. Just unlearn, then relearn. You see those things that you thought they are the norms, they are the procedures and what, just get away from them and learn new things. Now, when I say detox your mindset, poverty starts with the mindset. What you believe you can or can't, either way, you're right. So it's about the mindset. First of all, have the mindset of abundance. Abundance means that don't view money as a scarce commodity. People tend to say like, hey, Joseph, money is not there. Oh, money is a scarce commodity. It is very few. Scarce means that it is not available in plenty. So you find people saying, no, money is not scarce. Money is everywhere. It is actually in abundance. And then it's money for everyone. People tend to think like I am poor because someone is rich. No, come on. That's not the point. Detox your mindset. And once you detox your mindset, that is when you unlearn. By the way, listen, I have been telling you these guys, the day, the day started to be different from my family members. I was an outcast. I will tell you the truth. I was rubbing shoulders with everybody. My parents, my siblings, my neighbors, my friends. I was rubbing shoulders because the environment, I was rejecting the environment. I was totally rejecting the environment to a point whereby even the environment itself rejected me because I was not towing the line. I was not doing the things. I was, oh my goodness, I changed everything. I realized people have a lot of weakness when it comes to time. I became a time manager and people used to call me, oh, you're behaving like a white person. Even though they do respect to the white people. Behaving, white people are good at timekeeping. So they're telling me, oh, you're behaving like a white person. You're not even wealthy. You're just a... So I'm like, you guys, you can't know. Sure, for now, you can't see any results. But one day, time and years from today, you'll actually gonna see the difference. And up to date, I have never fit in that environment. And when I go there, when we meet, I hurry as much as I can to just talk a few words, then I disappear from the environment because I wouldn't love to get back to that detox or intoxication that I had. So detox your mindset, understand that money is there, it is in plenty, and of course that way, that is when you start consuming information that is entertaining you. People have made it, people who do this, befriend yourself with people who are actually moving something like. So detox your mindset. Are we together now? When we talk about detoxing your mindset, this is basically where by now, the fourth one, this is where now you learn what we call the baby steps of investment. You see, the moment you come from a poor family, the term investment does not exist in your vocabulary. It is not there because you're still fighting on the basics. It is not there. So start learning about this investment. What is it? Run away from what we call savings. Run away from this. Am I saying that you don't save? No, come on. Of course, you must save for you to invest. You get what I'm saying? This is like getting pregnant for you to get a kid. Now, what happens is that learn the baby steps. Learn step by step. Where can I invest? If you hear me talking about MMF here, shares here, some things here, just do something. Just do something, even if it's as little as it can. Learn those skills of investing. Learn about businesses. If you have a problem with cash flow, learn about the small businesses, enterprises. How can I sell this? How can I buy this to sell this? How can I do this to do the other one? Learn those baby step things and what have you. That is when, because the fastest way to get out of poverty is business. Let nobody ever lie to you. Okay, first it starts with two. It's actually two things. One is business. Two is learning a skill, and you can actually get a skill to get into a business. Of course, when you say business, you can sell two things: either a product or goods, or you can sell your services. So skills first. That's why back then they used to say education is the key to success, because education basically is equipping you with the necessary skills to actually survive out there. By the way, that was the primary point. But nowadays, the education is there, or the education, it is to get the skill for you to be employed. So we never produce creators. We produce, people who rely on others and something like that. So the point is, no, let me not get there. The point is, you get the skills and you start the business. That is the fastest way to get out of your poverty. That's a reality. Because if you're skillful, people will actually see you as a valuable individual, not a liability. Then you will solve their problem, then they'll give you the reward. Or you can decide to go to the market by yourself and sell those skills like what I'm doing right now. I've not been employed. I'm not employed by anybody. Whatever I teach you guys, I can be employed in a company and become, say, a financial advisor or say CF or whatever the thing I can be in a company and be able to offer them these services. And then they get paid, then they pay me. But for me, I'm actually offering the services by myself out there and therefore can be able to get paid. So point is, baby steps, investments, then and learn about savings, and then you move to the next level. Now, the fifth one, which is now, these ones are human actionable. These are humanable. These are steps that you take as a human. There is one step that most people, they'll never tell you the truth. The reality is all this involved you being disciplined, hardworking, smart working, everything, and then you assume that everything will actually work. I've seen people doing all this, but they never become successful. Very true. There is one thing that you need, and that is what I've actually realized in this life. You need, it depends on how you can call it. You can call it favor. You need luck. For me, I call it blessing. Are we together? Blessing from the Lord, the creator of heaven and earth. You need, I don't know whom you believe in, okay? And I wonder, why shouldn't you believe on my God? Because he's great. Now, the point is, for me, I call it blessing. Someone will actually say, you must be lucky for you to do all this. Absolutely true. There are some of the things that you cannot control as a human being. And if you can't control luck, and that's why you find people gamble and bet, because they tend to assume that they are lucky. Therefore, you can't control this. Others will call it favor. I'm favored. Actually got a favorable environment. The environment, you know, even you being born in an environment whereby it is, for example, I had people talking about that, hey, Africa is not favorable. You are disadvantaged compared to a Chinese fella who is of your age, born at the same time. All those are true. But did you choose to be born in Africa? Did you choose to be born in China? Did you choose to be born in Switzerland, somewhere where it's a first world country and what have you? You did. So you don't have a control. Even if you do anything here, there's no way you'll ever become a citizen of that country. Unless you're very wealthy and you buy that gold passport or whatever the thing it is. So the point is, there's that favor that we don't know when it's going to hit us. So what we do is to pray and position ourselves in a place whereby when that favor passes by, will actually pick us. Because this is what we say, when luck meets preparedness, success is paramount. So you can't say, because I don't have a control of even luck, so I will never adhere to these things. No, come on, do these things because they are positioning you in a mindset whereby the day you will get that opportunity, you will actually exploit it fully because you had prepared yourself in terms of discipline, character, behavior, management, timekeeping, growth, and all those kind of things. So once you get that, you'll be able to grow it. But once you get lucky and you didn't have all this, you'll get lucky, you make money, then you squander everything. Because you get $1 million in your account and yet you're not a millionaire. I told you guys, just because you have $1 million in your bank account does not mean you're a millionaire. There's a difference between having $1 million and being a millionaire. So millionaire is more of a mindset. Having $1 million is having money in a bank account. Let's say you have somebody who has $1 million in a bank account, but is not a millionaire in terms of the mindset. You know what happens? They squander everything. They bring it back to the levels where they can think. Then the moment that money reaches to the level where they can think, then now they start, oh man, what should I do with this? And those kind of things. Therefore, it is good to make sure that you adhere to all these things. And remember one thing, the success of a man is never measured by how high he climbs, but how high he bounces when he hits the bottom. You must possess the ability to manage, organize, and be able to grow. It takes time and effort to make money, but brains to keep it, character to have it, and also wisdom to expand and grow it. This is Good Joseph. As always, make sure that you hit that like button, make sure that you leave a comment on the comment section, and see you the next time.